Good morning, Mr. DeSocio. My name is Joe Padrino and I arranged this meeting to ask for some information about the position as a sound designer. I'm interested to get a job on it. What can you tell me about the job?
Hello, Mr. Padrino. Well, first of all, the sound design job is based on the process of specifying, acquiring, manipulating or generating audio elements.
In which sectors of the entertainment industry could I work as a sound designer?
A sound designer can work in films, video games, TV shows, radio shows, commercials and live events.
Is it well paid? Will I be able to make a comfortable living out of it?
It certainly is well paid here. We are a motion picture company, and the average salary for a sound designer for films here could be $73,470. Approximately. You will make a good living out of it, but you will spend a lot of time in the studios working hard. But it pays off.
That's more than I thought. I was wondering, what does exactly a sound designer do? To be more specific, what would I work on and what could I do to make your company more successful?
Your job is to work in the film's audio. I'd say that your responsibility is to make the movie's soundtrack special. It will always depend on the size of the production, but, as I said, your focus is always keeping in touch with the director and the producer to make the soundtrack the best possible and how they want it to be.
How long does it take to get to a high position as a sound designer in your company? Will I start from the bottom?
I'm a senior sound designer now, and I've been working in the company for 10 years. When I first started in the company, I was the assistant to the main sound designer in small films. Now, I'm working on the biggest and most popular movies from the company. So you're right, you'll start from the bottom, but depending on how good you are and how hard you work, you'll get to a really good position someday.
Are sound designers in big demand in the industry? Is your company looking for one?
The number of sound designers in the industry is growing more and more every day, but that doesn't mean that they're not useful. We wouldn't mind about one more of us in the department, but that doesn't really depend only on me. It depends on how good you do in your job interview with us and how you are perceived as a professional.
How does a sound designer differentiates from a sound editor or a mixer?
I guess that the difference is that a sound editor works and edits music, or sounds that already exists, sounds that have already been arranged and recorded, and their work is to edit it so it fits the film. The job of a sound designer leans more towards the emotional side of the sound in the film. In other words, a sound designer works from scratch. They design sounds that fit the film more deeply and try to achieve what the writers want to accomplish.
What obstacles did you go through to get where you are now?
That's a good question. When I graduated, I thought that I wanted to be a mix engineer, mostly because the high salary and the name of being a mix engineer. But then I realized that when mixing the sound for a film, I wanted to get more involved in the music I was mixing, so I talked to some directors about some ideas that I had, and eventually ended up as a sound designer for these soundtracks.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
Like I said before, I love getting involved in how a soundtrack fits with the emotional part of the film and what the director and producers exactly have in their minds.
Just one more question.
Yes.
How do you deal with your personal time for your family? Will I have time to deal with my personal things?
You have to focus on your priorities. You will be taking an important part in the filmmaking process. Do the work properly, spend all the time you need to spend in the studio in order to make a good job, and after that, I assure you that you will have time for the rest of the things in your life and you will be satisfied with it.
Right, Mr. DeSocio, that's all I needed to know. Thank you so much for your help and your time.
You're welcome, Mr. Padrino. Good luck out there. And have a great day.